Huh. Dagwit.
Hi, I'm Ben,
And I'm Stefan.
My car broke down today.
and that's why we are called
Animating
in Threes. Actually, that doesn't make any sense at all.
No, it doesn't.
Anyway, we are an animation podcast where three animators talk about an animated film or series and analyze it in detail. Or not, depending if we're in the mood. Who knows? And this week, on the suggestion from one of our listeners, Tom, we are going to be talking about the Doctor Who animated special, Doctor Who Dreamland.
Was this the one he suggested? Because I swear he suggested like an animated series or something.
He suggested a lot of them.
Yeah. Look, if it's not free
And this is actually a series.
Yeah.
I'll explain it later, but yeah.
Okay. Look, if it's not free on Stan or Netflix, then...
Yeah, we're going to watch
we-
Doctor Who The Infinite Quest as well, but
Couldn't find it.
this podcast is not about going the extra mile. Unless it's literally hand-delivered to us.
or you order the Yellow Submarine just because.
Yeah, yeah. If it costs over $9.95 and doesn't come with a booklet basically outlining the entire introductory section of the podcast.
It costs $3 on iTunes to watch.
Yeah. Well, we got that book, and there wouldn't have been an episode if we didn't get the book.
That is true. I don't think I would want
If you don't know what we're talking about, which you obviously don't, then have a listen to our Yellow Submarine episode. It's our most popular episode with something like 19 views.
Before we get to anything, though, I'll just like to shout out to Rachel from YouTube. I'm sure there's only one Rachel. That's all good.
Yeah.
But yeah, she sent us a really nice comment on one of our YouTube videos.
We're going to read it in a mocking voice.
So yeah, Rachel said, "Wow, I expected you guys to have more subscribers. Love the podcast. Keep up the good work."
You have too
Thanks,
much
Rachel.
faith in us.
Yeah, thanks, Rachel, but we have exactly as many subscribers as we deserve.
But thank you.
Yeah, it's
Again,
nice to
one
know-
one of them is me. One of them's a family member, and I think the other one's either Ben or Stefan.
I am subscribed. So
Yep,
yes.
there we go. That's everyone. If you're part of them, Rachel, thank you very much.
So
Suggest something for us to watch. We'll watch it.
yeah. There's some animation news. So we're covering 2 weeks of animation news. There's not that much, but we'll start off with the first one, which is on the same day, 2 trailers for the Addams Family was released. The
What?
Addams, yep, 2 trailers for the Addams Family animated film came out on the same day. One from MGM and one from the other place it was doing. I think it was Universal.
It's like a distributor and a studio.
Yeah,
That's bizarre.
I know, and they were different trailers too.
Okay, yeah.
One was
This is like the opposite of Christopher Nolan, who'll like take 1 30-second like proof of concept trailer and only release it in theaters. But these guys release most of the existing footage of the film on YouTube. It's a bold strategy.
So the first trailer that I watched, which was the MGM trailer, it wasn't good.
It didn't show the film in any good light.
They had not only did they have 4 different songs throughout the trailer, a 2-minute trailer, which is ridiculous, but it doesn't look finished like the rendering. It just feels like it's something from 10 years ago.
Question?
Yes,
I didn't watch them.
that's
Are
fine.
they that bad?
They are just like, do you remember the last Addams Family trailer?
Yeah.
It doesn't look any better than that.
No, because the movement's too, like... It's a weird criticism.
It's a
but
bit floaty.
But it's too floaty and too fluid and rubbery. I kind of like... Even though they weren't that well received, I and I haven't seen them, but I like the... judging off the trailer and by secondhand accounts, I like the animation style of those Hotel Transylvania films.
Oh,
Yeah.
100%.
Very snappy. Yeah, like a lot of life and a lot of kinetic energy in them. And I was thinking, I know the Addams Family is a bit more somber and gothic.
No, but it feels like they were aiming for something like that. But again, the cartoony style, even in these most recent trailers, does not go far enough to be that.
Because everything is super stylized, and it feels like it should emulate like a weird kind of hyper reality in terms of movement. But yeah,
It doesn't. It's very floaty and slow.
It's floaty and rubbery. Actually, no, wait. I did see clips from the trailer because I made that comment. The town environment looked like something from a video game
Oh, that's
from like
right.
1998.
Like, it's not that bad, but,
No, but it's just barren. That's all.
yes, it is very bad.
There's that weird thing when they don't seem to like properly simulate the grass. They just kind of texture it like.
There was one shot I liked, though. I like the one shot where it's Wednesday with a little red balloon. Balloon.
Oh, that was in the first trailer, though. I'm
looked
sick
nice.
of that.
Yeah, but I mean, the rendering's nice. The balloon's got a little shine on it.
And the second trailer for it, it was a lot better. It actually showed the story of what it was going to be.
The story actually seems quite interesting. I like how
Yeah.
it's focusing on Wednesday being at school, fitting in, that sort of thing. But again, the animation and its I think the rendering is the main thing. It just
Yeah.
doesn't sell it as a polished, finished film.
Yeah, the texturing's just not quite there yet. Like, compared to stuff we get nowadays from DreamWorks and Pixar.
Yeah,
it just
which
looks,
are like
Yeah.
10-tier quality.
I once saw a school production of the Addams Family musical. It's wonderful. Go support your local school productions.
2 days before the Netflix film Invader Zim Enter the Florpus comes out, which is today as time of recording, the trailer dropped 2 days beforehand. Well, there was a leaked version that Stefan showed me, but officially it just released 2 days beforehand, which is not the best marketing, I would say.
I literally don't think this film needs any more marketing. It sells itself.
But nonetheless, the trailer itself was very good. Do you want to talk about it, Stefan?
Sells itself. Didn't you say that the other one had so little viewers that they cancelled it halfway through the production schedule?
Oh yeah, forget what I said.
Because it's basically incorrect.
No, but it has such a cult following nowadays that even that it's being released, people know that it's coming out.
Yeah, like that Rocco's Modern Life reboot.
No, there isn't much to say about the trailer. I'm just looking forward to when I can watch it tonight. I think it looks really great. It's got really spectacular energy. I love how Zim seems even more bombastic than usual. And it's got a cleaner, more crisp style than the usual thing. So instead of that weird in-between griminess, it's really going for that hard-edged sci-fi kind of style, which works really well
Does
with
it
the
come
show.
out tonight, you said?
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
great.
actually
already
already
out.
out.
Oh, cool.
Stefan mentioned something and just reminded me about talking about Invader Zim, how the Rocco's Modern Life film still looks like it has that griminess from the 90s.
You can tell it's HD. Like
Yeah.
it's in kind of that, full widescreen format, and it's very much like whatever 1080p True HD. But yeah, it retains that kind of rough matte finish to everything. Yeah.
But whereas the Invader Zim movie doesn't.
No,
or
it's gone pure clean, which works better with
Vasquez.
Vasquez's
remember
art style.
Do you remember the lady from Aliens?
Her name is Vasquez.
I haven't seen Aliens.
Go watch
What?
Aliens.
That's a great film.
I don't like aliens. Creep me out. They're scary. They have like the weird heads.
Yeah, that makes sense.
and
If
they
you
have
don't-
other heads that come out of their heads.
If you don't like the Dark Crystal, you definitely
Also-
wouldn't like Aliens.
Also, speaking of Aliens, there's a very clear kind of visual throwback to Aliens in this, what we're about to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. They even mentioned the movie Aliens in it,
Yeah.
I just realised.
And Die Hard for some
And
reason.
Die Hard for some reason.
And Star Wars even. Anyway, one more
Doctor
trailer.
Who's an idiot.
yeah.
Why would he keep making
not-
pop culture... Just make himself feel smart.
Okay,
What a prick.
We'll get into that. One more trailer that came out. It was for Star Wars Resistance Season 2, which...
Oh, that's phenomenal! I forgot about that.
Oh my god, what is this?
So, it's the second season of the new animated series, this is the last season, it turns out, as well.
Is this the wooden puppet beard one?
No, this
No.
is... The,
I asked that with every Star Wars series.
it's the 3D cel-shaded new one that came out last year, that started coming out last year. It looks... So, in the first season, the main setting was just on this barren
Pretty
water
much
planet.
a bottle season in like this giant. It's called the Colossus.
The Colossus,
It's
this
a-
giant space station, water station, and basically, and even when they did go off the planet, they'll just go into another station.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of just blandness, but in this season, they go to now they're off the planet. They go to so many different planets, and it's so vibrant and colorful. I am really looking forward to where they take
What's it
this
called
season.
again?
Star Wars Resistance.
And some of the action set pieces and all the colors they've chosen, and even all the character interactions they've shown in this look really interesting and like just really intriguing how they could go with these things.
I've never seen this.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it is lineless cell shade. You didn't say that very much.
I was really shocked when they said it was the epic conclusion because it's like, oh, it's only 2 seasons.
Well, if you take the rumors true that The Rise of Skywalker is a year after The Last Jedi, and Star Wars Resistance goes up to The Force Awakens, which is only 2 days before The Last Jedi, there's not many stories you can tell in that 1 year, so it kind of makes sense.
Kind of.
But yeah, whatever. It looks really good, and I'm sad to see it go, because it is actually a really good show despite a few filler episodes
It's
here
got
and there.
better keyframing.
Oh,
Oh.
way better keyframing.
And then the Doctor Who Christmas special, whatever we watched.
It's not a Christmas special.
Okay, speaking of Doctor Who, we'll be getting into our topic of Doctor Who
What's it called?
Dreamland.
Okay.
Dreamland.
Sorry for
area
making fun of it. Who recommended it? Was
Tom.
it Tom?
Tom. Yeah, sorry. Okay, Tom, just a heads up. We all have not the best feelings about this.
I liked it.
Okay.
Is this the opposite of how you thought it would go? It's the opposite of how I thought it would
Look,
go.
I
enjoyed it.
liked the story.
Yeah, I thought it
but
was
other
cute.
aspects of it we're gonna be a bit harsh on. So just
No,
a
but
heads
thanks for
up.
the recommendation. I'm glad I watched it. It was fun.
Okay. So Doctor Who is a series about a fraudulent con man who poses as various doctors to attain lots of money.
Is that true?
No.
'Cause I believe it.
What?
Doctor Who?
No, that completely threw me off because Doctor Who's a nice man. He's not a con man.
No, we've established he's an asshole. He walks around yelling about pop culture references that everybody obviously has no reference for. And there's like, oh, flippity floop, look at me, I understand references.
Look, if you're
Why don't you understand references? Are you an idiot?
Okay, so the real Doctor Who, not the one that I talked about. So
He says he has two hearts, but I think he has none.
So Doctor Who is a British live action series which is over 55 years old, which is very old.
He looks good, David Tennant.
So it's about a Time Lord who just goes about gallivanting across the galaxy,
Actually, no, he
mainly Earth.
He used to be that bald Cockney bloke, and then before that he was the man with the scarf. Is that all the Doctor Who's?
There's been like 14
I know there's
Doctor
been a
Who's.
lot, I'm joking.
So the idea came up in 1962 where Eric Mashwitz from the BBC asked about the feasibility of producing a sci-fi series. After several confirmations, he set up creating Doctor Who, originally penned as a kids' educational series exploring the different eras of our history.
Remember, kids, if you ever go back in time, make sure to make lots of pop culture references that the local populace won't understand, and you'll feel real smart.
Amazing. And the TARDIS was originally going to be taking the form of era-appropriate objects. So if they went to Egypt, it would probably look like a little pyramid.
Yeah, but the thing is, they had the one phone box in the studio storage.
No, basically it was too expensive to do every single episode. So it was like, you know what? Just keep
exactly.
it as one thing.
So that's the real reason.
And actually the writer, one of the original writers who was an Australian writer, Anthony Coburn, he had the idea to make the TARDIS of a police box. I don't know why, but...
It's just one of those funny,
It's
like,
iconic for
yeah,
it.
those
Yeah.
weird little idiosyncrasies in the show. I like that. I like how it's that thing we talk about a lot. How it's like the overall theme of and like tonality of Hitchhiker's Guide as well is when you like. It's that weird kind of marriage of very like
The mundane?
mundane domestic British life with like the grandiosity of the cosmos. And I love how he's interdimensional, atemporal transportation vehicle, just a phone box, like Bill and Ted.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
about to say, this is kind of Bill and Ted if you think about
Bill
it.
and
Are
Ted came
Time
after.
Lords?
They came after, first of all.
I'm sure that the phone booth in Bill and Ted is a throwback
it's
to Doctor
definitely-
Who,
Oh,
yeah.
it's gotta be.
Except it's just like an AT&T. like
It's a
like-
phone booth,
like-
not a police box. That's it. That's
Yeah.
the difference.
yeah.
The theme, which is still used today, was created by Rod Grainer and Delia Derbyshire. However, because Delia or Delia? I don't know. I'm sorry.
Hey there, Delilah, what's
No, it's
it
not
like?
Delia or Delia. It's spelled Delia.
We're gonna call it D.
Okay. However, because Dee worked for the BBC Radiophonic Workshop, which had rules about anonymity, she wasn't paid any royalties for her contribution to the theme song.
That's miserable.
Yeah, I know.
Why do we need to know that?
It's because it's background on the show.
That's sad.
It's the 60s. It was the Wild West.
The first Doctor, played by William Hartnell, was joined by his granddaughter on his time-travelling adventures. However, because people at BBC...
Oh, you meant the production staff.
Oh, no.
It was based
So-
on the real time traveling adventures.
No, so the Doctor's granddaughter joined him on adventures.
Okay.
Which I actually didn't think the Doctor had a family until I started reading up on it.
No, I didn't think he did either.
Yeah, none of us know anything about Doctor Who,
Is
by
Time
the way.
Lord, is that a species?
Yes.
Oh, we sound so stupid. We're so sorry, Tom.
People at BBC were worried about how people might perceive the relationship, so they added more companions throughout the series.
Like a brick and a dog and a toilet plunger.
A brick?
What else is he friends
So
with?
I
don't know.
think the two other companions are the granddaughter's teachers.
Okay, so not like inanimate objects.
No.
Look out, brick! Here come the glip-glops! I don't know.
No, that's more Rick and Morty. I think they actually have a species called Glipglops in Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
the second episode introduced the Daleks. As they weren't humanoid.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And as they weren't humanoid, studio execs were worried that they wouldn't be good villains to show on the screen. However, audiences proved them wrong by showing up to the second episode in droves.
Wow.
In the third season, the producers began to notice Hartnell having memory problems due to arteriosclerosis, which is basically where your arteries start to harden on the inside.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. So,
Oh.
obviously, the writers and everyone in the studio was like, okay, he can't continue for long. So, basically, they decided to write around that by saying, oh, look, he's an alien, right?
Mm-hmm.
How about we make his series so, his species so that whenever they start to die, they regenerate. And that's how we came up with the Doctor having lots of many forms.
That works so well for it as a long-running series.
Exactly, because they didn't just want to end it.
So is it the same continuity? It's the same character?
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome. That's a lot
Yeah.
of fun.
So
Can
that
you turn
way-
into different animals?
No.
Like
No, just humans.
Like a duck?
no.
I think just
Doctor
humanoid. I think just humanoid figures.
Oh, that'd be funny if he was like a dog and stuff.
What's with you and just getting random
Or like a brick.
It actually would be pretty funny.
Doctor.
brick to who?
What he's just like the sonic screwdriver is just placed in one of those like holes in the middle of the brick.
So yeah, anyway, that's how they rode around having different actors playing the Doctor.
Okay, that's fun.
Yeah. Anyway, so let's fast forward a bit to 2005.
Before. Okay.
So there was a 16-year hiatus in the show. And in between that 16 years, there was a film which had the Ninth Doctor in it.
Which one is that?
The Doctor.
The bald guy?
I don't know.
Doctor.
They're all the Doctor. So
Oh.
anyway, yeah. So there was 16-year hiatus from '89 to 2005, and David I forgot his last name. I didn't write it. No. Anyway, so this guy from the BBC was just like pestering the BBC to bring it back, and they was like, "Fine, here, you can go make it then." So in 2005, a new series
I
started.
feel like that's how all like successful network properties are born. It's like, just get out of my house, just take the money.
So the new season, which was called Series 1 for some reason, it's actually the 27th season.
Yeah.
That doesn't make a single bit of sense.
But they rebranded it as Series 1 because they wanted to just kind of separate it, even though it's the same
I've
continuity.
heard it's a good jumping on point if you do want to
Yeah.
get into the modern Doctor Who.
Anyway, this new Series 1 had Christopher Eccleston as the Doctor.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the bald dude.
Yes.
It's one of those things. Everyone says that season is a good jumping on point because I think it's like Star Trek. Like, I like the concept of Doctor Who, and I really like the concept of Star Trek as well. Like a big intergalactic adventure that's purely based on like pseudoscience and like grand philosophical concepts and things. And it seems like each episode, you read the description, and it's awesome, and it's high concept, and it's based around, like, mythology and folklore, and it sounds so interesting. And then you watch it, and it's just like William Shatner punching, like, a rubber mask.
Yeah.
Like, he gets kicked through the set, and, like, you can see, like, the cardboard production, like, thing collapse.
That kind of sounds amazing.
There's an
actually.
episode when, like, he ducks a punch from, like, Spock or something, and, like, his hand's meant to go through the wall, but it's just, like, rice paper. It's like, is that what the side of your ship's made of? Yeah, it's just that. Like, it's the same thing with Doctor Who. When, like, yeah, it's all cool and high concept, and it sounds so cool on paper, but then you watch it, and it's just like, I don't know, a dog or whatever.
Well, I actually might watch it now that we have Stan for another 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, the Ninth Doctor played by Christopher Eccleston. But at the end of the first new season, there was already a change of actor for the Doctor. Because, so yeah, Christopher
Jesus.
Eccleston, he just wanted to have the one season.
Did he have a heart attack?
No, he just didn't want to be typecast after that.
Ah.
And now look at
And
him.
now no one remembers him.
He was in Thor: The Dark World.
Who was he?
He was the
he
Dark
Carl
Elf.
Urban?
No, he was the Dark Elf.
Oh, no. Oh, he was too.
Yeah.
He looks a bit like him.
But yeah, that's the only thing I know he's been in since then. So
Yeah.
great job on that. You haven't been typecast, but you just haven't
You
been
achieved
cast.
literally the opposite effect.
He just hasn't been cast.
Now
at
he's
all.
a real Doctor Who.
This is all really sad. I don't know.
Anyway, so the Doctor after him was David Tennant as the 10th Doctor.
He's a good Doctor.
Beautiful human being.
Yeah, lovely man by all accounts.
Except when he played the purple guy in Jessica Jones.
Beautiful man by all accounts. Yeah, it's a great performance as Purple Man, Jessica Jones.
I'm not talking about Purple
all,
Man.
all of his performances are great, even in the show we're about to talk
He's
about.
great. I didn't know he was Scottish until recently.
He's
Oh,
Scottish?
he's Scottish.
Yeah.
Oh, that
Whoa.
makes sense.
Wow. Did you? Hold on.
I did not know that.
Can we take a second to listen to his real voice? It's insane.
Was there backlash for you?
Oh, sure.
They're like, who's the Weasley-looking guy? Who's this? I like the last guy. This is not going to work for me. This show is dead to me. I resign from the internet, send. There was a lot of that.
So anyway, David Tennant was announced as the 10th Doctor while the first new series was shown. So it was like kind of in the mid-season.
Yeah, it'd be weird to... I mean, it's something that Doctor Who fans would have been used to, I suppose.
I know, but you'd think like they would save it for the end of the season when they actually do the regeneration.
Yeah, you want it like for that reveal, wouldn't
Yeah.
you? Yeah.
Anyway.
You know, the first episode I've ever seen of Doctor Who is actually that episode where David Tennant becomes the Doctor, and it actually handled it quite well. I found, although I watched it when I was 12 years old, so I don't have.
Is
a
the
strong
transformation?
memory.
Wait, is it the one? Is the transformation like painful or?
I think sometimes it is.
Because I think I have this very vague memory of like him transforming, but like saying that he doesn't want to go or something.
Well, I know
Because like you lose your memories or something.
He loses some memories,
Yeah.
doesn't he?
and then he changes personality and physical form.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it. It's a nice way to keep everything, keep all the past history relevant, but have different interpretations.
So yeah, Tennant's first proper episode was a Christmas special at the end of 2005.
That's what it was. It was a Christmas special where the aliens were trying to invade Earth. And it was right when they needed him to not transform, and he transformed and he had no idea what was going on.
So after the Christmas special, David Tennant played the role for 3 years, including an animated series of Doctor Who, The Infinite Quest, which we were going to watch, but we didn't want to pay $3 for it.
Peter Capaldi wasn't the Doctor for very long. Is that right?
No.
2014 to 18, I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
4 years. And then the...
Yeah, 4 years is about the standard for a Doctor.
Who's the new
Who's the lady
woman?
now?
Jodie Whittaker. She was in Attack the Block, which we watched.
Okay, yep.
Oh, wait, what? Yeah, I'd watch Attack the Block.
Yeah.
Yeah.
John Boyega's
was
first film.
Yeah, I remember John Boyega. But who was she in that?
She was the neighbor who was really annoyed by the kids, and the kids were going to rob her.
Oh, I don't
mug
remember.
her.
I haven't seen this in a long time.
I really like that
I like how
film.
they had glowing teeth.
Not Jodie Whittaker, the aliens.
No, the aliens. Yeah.
Yeah, I was kind of thrown off there for a second.
Anyway, so, however, all good things must come to an end. In 2008, in October, David Tennant announced that after 4 special installments of Doctor Who in 2009, he would step down as the Doctor.
You only did 4 episodes.
In 2009.
They were 4 like long movie episodes.
Oh, that's fun though. That's a nice way.
They're
to
like
go.
crossover things where he would cross over with Matt Smith's character.
Oh, I thought you
Yeah.
meant with like Transformers or
No,
like, other like
It's
intercompany
basically they didn't want to do a series between a proper series between David Tennant and Matt Smith. So like, okay, we'll just do 4 specials. However,
It's not like the Scooby-Doo crossovers where it's like Doctor Who meets the Harlem Globetrotters.
Actually, I just saw that Scooby-Doo meets Batman. So
Yeah, exactly. It's like David Tennant meets Batman, but it's like the Adam West one. They can only get Burt Ward.
However, in addition to these 4 specials, they also released Doctor Who Dreamland, an animated special that came out towards the end of the year in December.
Is this in continuity?
I would assume it is.
Okay.
Oh goodness.
He just kind of shows up in 1952 or whatever year it is.
Yeah, it's... We'll get to that.
He's not with anybody. I don't know where he came from.
Doctor Who Dreamland was released on BBC's Red Button service, which I think is an
like that
internet
box?
service. No.
Oh, it's not like
it might be a box.
It's not like
I'm
that
not
vending,
sure.
not like that vending machine.
No,
where, like,
no.
You pay $5 and you don't get the movie you ordered.
I've never understood
You get like a
those.
photocopied disc.
Why do they have them? Isn't it just easier to watch stuff online?
Video stores were bad enough, and they had oversight. The jump to DVDs killed video stores because, you can't, because at least videos themselves are mildly, resilient to damage. You really got to get in there to get to the tape and wreck the thing. But DVDs, you look at those wrong and they just burst into flames.
I don't know what DVDs you had when you were growing up.
No, but if you went to a Video Easy
Oh, yeah.
in 2005 and I want a DVD of Rocco's Modern Life or whatever you want to get, you couldn't order anything from the kids section then because they were just scratched to shit. It was unbelievable. You just look at them and you're like, have they been through a blender? They're duct taped together. And that's with oversight. That's with people who, when you return the DVD, they should look in the case and go, we can't take this. It's in 9 pieces. I don't understand why the people thought that Redbox shit was a good idea, because there's no oversight. You can just put anything back into the machine, and it'll spit it out for the next people. People are photocopying discs. And what do I care? This is not. Video stores are dead. Good. I'm glad they died.
Okay, so Doctor Who Dreamland was initially released
I'll
as...
tell you which was the worst DVDs. The ones that looked like deceptively clean. The ones where you'd open it and you go, finally, I got a nice new disc. One without any scratches, one that'll play my player. And then you put your DVD and the thing just fucking explodes.
What on earth are you talking about?
You know when you get like halfway through a film and it just stops? Remember DVDs used to do? Wasn't the internet was shit. It was just that it would just stop working. Because some kid had like licked the disc before they put it back in the case.
For 5 years, Michael has...
If you had a kid in 2005, don't let them put it in the DVD player. You be a parent and put it in the fucking player yourself. Don't disappoint me with like ordering the ABC for Kids DVD bumper pack in 2003 or whatever, and I put in the DVD player and the thing just explodes. I wasted my $7 weekly rental.
Michael, I've never seen you this passionate about something so
I
pointless.
had to put up with 10 years of video stores. You order a new release. Oh, it's been out for 3 days. I'm gonna pay $12 to keep it for 9 minutes and take it home. And then you take it home. How did someone scratch it in this little amount of time? DVDs weren't built for multi-person ownership. They're so fragile.
So
The whole system was flawed.
Michael's been holding this in for a little while, and I don't think he's told anyone about his struggles with video
You're
stores.
keeping this in the podcast. People have to know.
And yeah, he's just letting out his anger. So I think we should all just calm down, take a deep breath.
Fucking Blockbuster.
Are you glad that Captain Marvel wrecked a Blockbuster in Captain Marvel?
She should have wrecked more of them.
Should have changed that to the plot of the film.
It's just a place that saw the future and just ignored it. No, the internet's not going to be massive. It's fine. We'll keep selling scratch DVDs to people for $23 a kilo or whatever.
They're like groceries.
Wasn't Netflix going to buy them at one point, but they declined?
Yeah, and I'm glad. I'm glad Blockbuster didn't buy Netflix and didn't secure its future.
Okay, so...
Stupid store.
So, Doctor Who Dreamland. It was initially going to be released as 6 episodes, where the first episode was 12 minutes, and the 5 episodes after were 6 minutes each. And then, after they released that, they decided, you know what, we'll just put it all together in one 45-minute episode.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was just a bit easier to watch rather than just having, after 5 minutes, here's another title sequence.
It is a brisk watch. It doesn't have opening credits. It doesn't have
It has opening credits.
No, as in it doesn't have like an opening, like a preamble. Doesn't have text. Doesn't have production information. It just opens with a matte shot of space and then a UFO crash.
But then there's the title, the Doctor Who title.
Yeah, that is great though.
It is a shortened version of...
It is a very quick cold open, is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, and Dreamland received mixed to positive reception, praised for its story, but criticized for its lackluster animation.
Oh,
Yes,
really?
Oh, really, yeah.
So David Tennant returned to voice the Doctor, and Georgia Moffat and Tim Howard coming on board as the 2 new companions.
Actually, that's one thing I'll say. David Tennant's performance, even in this, he really gets across that real kind of like... There's a lot of passion in his performance. And
David Tennant's just always passionate
and he
with
does
his
good voice work too. Like, he's in Final Space as one of the main antagonists in season 1, and
is that
he's
him?
unrecognizable.
Wow, yeah, he has like kind of like a gravelly kind of evil-y voice,
Yeah.
doesn't he? Yeah. But no, yeah, he in this weird kind of inconsequential, badly animated special.
He's one bright shining spot.
Yeah, exactly. He really gives it his all.
So some information about Georgia Moffat, who was the female companion. So she already had ties to Doctor Who. She's the actual daughter of the actor who played the 5th Doctor in the 70s or 80s.
We're getting really meta here. I'm really finding it hard to distinguish between the Doctor and the actor behind the Doctor.
George Moffat also played the daughter of the character the Doctor, but as a clone.
So who's related to the dog?
No one.
Oh.
Also, Georgia Moffat ended up marrying David Tennant as well.
In real life?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
And they have
Lovely.
4 kids.
Oh,
and they're
are
still
they
together.
married?
Yes.
Oh, well, how nice.
So she has 3 direct ties to Doctor Who. Her dad was the Doctor, she played the Doctor's daughter, and she married a Doctor.
It's not like other like celebrity marriages when like the ceremony finishes and they just get in separate cabs.
No. Yeah, I think that like George Moffat, her life has literally been directly impacted by Doctor Who, which is really cool. So the animation was done by Little Loud Studios, and by the looks of it, Little Loud has primarily done, like by the time this short came out, they mainly done adverts and games, including a lot of Marvel games as well. They did some assets for the first Iron Man game that tied into the MCU.
Yeah, I'd keep that off the resume.
They also did they did a lot of Marvel stuff and yeah.
I don't want to discredit it, actually. You know how hard 3D modeling is.
And this looked like the first like long animation they ever did.
Yeah, it shows.
Yeah, and it shows.
As in, like the modeling and the art style is all great and all really sound. It's just like, damn, some of the movement is rough.
Yeah, so okay, let's get into opening thoughts. So Michael, you've already said that.
Oh yeah.
Is that it?
I think you can basically like I actually enjoyed the special. Like like it's a bit of fun. It's inconsequential. It's I presume it's like for kids. Yeah, no, it's just it's fun and it's fast paced and it's scrappy and like I think I enjoyed this like the opening more before it kind of devolved into like I'm a bug and I'm gonna punch you in the face, David Tennant.
Yeah, it was more fun exploring Area 51.
Yeah,
and all that.
the like all that opening stuff when like I think I'm not sure if this is like what Doctor Who does a lot, but I love how that kind of tie into existing like urban legends and things and folklore and it provides like additional context or like recontextualizes like secretive events throughout history, so you get like a little bit of the context behind the Roswell incident, which I'm surprised presumably they hadn't done the Roswell incident before this.
Yeah, I mean literally like 50 years or almost 45 years at that point of history of Doctor Who and they hadn't done it.
Yeah, like it's surprising. Like it's like Futurama did a really funny take on the Roswell incident.
Yeah, that was a really good.
That's my favorite episode. Roswell that ends well. Everybody check that one out. It's like that stuff is more fun than I think the ending when it just gets. I tuned out a little bit when it got to like the aliens and the oogity boogity. I'm pretty sure the aliens' eyes moving is like an animation error because it never looked natural. Like every now and then the size would just increase by like 15% and then pop back.
Okay, Stefan, what are your
good stuff
thoughts?
though? Soft recommendation.
I didn't like it. Like you guys
God.
you guys are saying, oh yeah, it's got this, it got
I'm
this.
in the middle.
Like it said it was praise for its story. It was a lackluster story. Yeah, for me it was just, but what really sold it as not being good for me is that the aliens it introduces looks like the most defaultest alien that has ever defaulted.
Yeah,
like it looks like if they were going
insects.
to do something. No, not those aliens. I mean the alien they're trying to save.
Oh, the Greys, yeah.
It looks like the Area 51 alien. It's like, couldn't you have done something a bit more
Yeah,
subversive?
it looks like that one and all that leaked autopsy footage or whatever.
Yeah.
Ah, yeah.
But like of course, animation is almost non-existent. But that wasn't too bad. The modeling was all right at times. There was some facial movements that are weird. The voice acting, apart from David Tennant's always incredible. But some of the others were just a bit forced, I guess. But flat. There wasn't much I could really take from this. Like, this is one of those films where it was 45 minutes long, but it took me 3 hours to watch.
Do you think Roswell is filled with all the not scratched working DVDs from Blockbuster Video?
Yes, it's also got a copy of your rant you just said about it. I just didn't find it very... The one thing I remember the episode is one joke. And it's the joke when he's hiding in the box with the alien, because I just thought that was a funny set piece.
What was that line again?
Oh, he's like, oh, don't worry, I've got a plan. And he just hides in a box. And then they're like, is this your plan? Well, it's a work in progress. And then he's like...
That's a very David Tennant thing.
And it's like when they're trying to get out. And they're like, how do we get out if we're in this box and can't see? Oh, don't you count your steps? I always count my steps, just in case you get stuck in a box and you have to find your way out. It's like, that's fun. But other times it feels like... It did not need to be animated. Like, it does not use animation as a way to over-exaggerate things or anything. It very much is just very staple. Here is a character. Here's what they do.
I mean, I don't think it would have been, like, that expensive to film if they needed to. I mean, the majority of it, I presume, just would have been, like, you just would have shown
the aliens would be the most expensive thing.
But they do aliens in Doctor Who really well.
Yeah,
usually.
but they do that weird kind of, like, it's not meant to look realistic. It's kind of like that weird kind
Power
of
Rangers.
rough, charming animation that they kind of do. And there is a charm to, like, kind of bad BBC CGI.
But in this, it just didn't, like... if you're going to have when you showed it to me and you said it was called Dreamland, I thought, okay, it's going to use animation surreally and use it in a way that we haven't seen in other Doctor Who.
New Mexico desert for 40 minutes.
Desert, and there's nothing new about
Are we
it.
the only 3 people who didn't know that a nickname for Area 51 is Dreamland?
I didn't know that.
I did not know.
I didn't know what it meant. It's just Doctor Who Dreamland. It's like, all right.
And then Doctor Who...
it's got to be like a surreal kind of like dive into the psychosis of the Doctor or something like that.
No, that'd be too good.
No, it's just got to get it.
The Doctor just calls it, Dreamland, Area 51. That's the
He looks
only
directly at the
reference.
audience, like Dreamland or Area 51, and then the definition appears on the screen.
Okay, so I think it's about time I just talk about the story quickly. 11 years prior to where the majority of the episode takes place, there are 2 alien spaceships, one that are chasing another alien spaceship, then the one that is being chased crash lands in Roswell in the 40s. And then 11 years later, the Doctor comes into a small, what is it?
It's a diner. It's a 50s diner.
Yeah, 50s diner. And it goes, you have this one thing that I need to...
What does the 50s diner have this piece of alien
I
technology?
know. You'd think that the government would take it off them, but no.
No, it's just like
Anyway.
It's just like this potentially like radioactive rod is just like next to the cake.
So anyway,
It's like in the same box that you keep like display cakes in.
But he meets the two
two
main
companions.
characters there,
Yeah.
character 1 and character 2. Who
So
have,
his wife and a guy.
Yeah. They have brilliant personalities of one being a character and the other being another character.
There is some kind of like cultural context with the guy. He's like
Yeah.
he's from like a Native
Yeah,
American tribe.
Which we'll get into that later. But still, he's a very bland character nonetheless.
They're all bland characters.
Apart from the Doctor.
I am
Anyway.
positive. Wait, I think you said this before. I'm positive that woman is not American. Real bad accent.
Anyway.
There's bits which is like, oh, blimey, or whatever. It's probably not that bad. But
Anyway, then some robots show up. They chase them. And then the US government shows up and goes, hey, I need to take you to Area 51. And then the Doctor goes, Dreamland, Area 51. I've always wanted to go there. Which I have a problem with. If you're a Time Lord, surely, and your time box can just go anywhere as well. It's a teleportation machine too. He could go there anytime and anywhere in the facility. But no, he chooses this one time where he's going to be taken there by force to go there.
I mean, he just didn't get around to it. He was too busy dying.
Okay,
9
but he could
times.
literally just go into the future when it's open to the public, because it probably will be.
Which is a museum.
And he can just go into it then. But no, he decides, I'm going to get captured so I can go
He's
there.
a busy guy.
Anyway, so they get to Area 51. Colonel Stark decides, you know too much, even though we took you here. We're gonna get rid of your memory. But then they escape before their memories get erased.
Yeah, before he took us like, we're going to take you to a place, but you can't remember anything.
Can I just interrupt and say, like, when I think Area 51, and again, animation, you'd think, maybe this memory device is going to be like this super high-tech alien thing. It's like, no, it's a gas chamber they're attached to some tables.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
I'm positive that gas was just lethal and it would have killed
it
him.
was just gas coming out of a vent. Like, it's not even like a fancy, it's nothing.
No. So they escape from Area 51, but not before seeing an alien there. Like a bog standard alien, as Stefan
Yeah,
said.
it's the template that you download from like...
Cahoots.
Yeah, from like...
I love that.
Oh my god, I haven't heard the word cahoots in a long time.
And apparently that's like a math program in America or something.
Yeah.
But in Victoria,
Cahoots-
the Australian government specifically funded this animation program called Cahoots for kids to learn about 3D animation.
It was a lot of fun.
It was really fun. I used to make games and stuff in it all the time, and it was awesome. Anyway,
I wasn't that
we're
creative. I
sidetracked.
used to make like boats sink.
Everyone did that. Anyway, so to escape Area 51, they manage to just hijack an alien spaceship, which they eventually just crash. But when they crash it, guess who shows up? But one of the companions' father, who was a Native American, and
They shoot arrows at
they
the
shoot arrows at
cyborgs.
the robots that are chasing them. Because apparently one arrow can take down a robot.
I was so glad when Doctor Who was just like, is that
It's
his
the
name?
Doctor.
The Doctor. I call him Doctor Who.
I know.
So
People
I'm the most frustrating person to deal with if you're a Doctor
people
Who
are
fan.
gonna probably leave angry comments this time.
That I called him Doctor Who. I acknowledged it. All right.
The companion's father takes them to a cave where there just happens to be another alien that crash landed there 5 years ago. And then the US Army shows up.
I like it. They just walk in the frame.
It's like, we tracked you.
This battalion.
But they don't even. There's no ceremony. It's like, oh, we were here. They just walk into the frame and just go, oh, and then the music just pikes up. It's like, no.
I never liked that where like a character's visual periphery is contingent on the frame. Like, they only see what the audience can see. I never liked that. It's always weird when they turn around, there's just like a battalion of 10,000 men behind them.
So as it turns out,
They tiptoed.
Colonel Stark is working with the enemy alien species called the Viperox, which are very big insect-like creatures, and the Viperox want to take down these two bog-standard aliens because reasons. They had a civil war.
They have this,
Yeah.
that biological weapon that can destroy the entire race of the Viperox.
Yeah.
And so they want to get rid of these two aliens.
So then, basically, they go back to Area 51. There's a big battle going on, and the Doctor goes, oh, I'm going to change this weapon, but I need your help, bog-standard aliens. And then it turns out that what the alteration to the weapon was that they emitted a sound.
Yep.
Yep.
And then that's how they get rid of the Viperox, which is very much like the
That's how
Tim
every
Burton
sci-fi
film.
movie ends. It's like, turn the radio louder, it'll make the aliens explode.
What's the one that Tim Burton did? What is it called? Aliens from Mars? Mars Attacks.
Mars
Mars
Attacks.
attacks.
Yeah, so instead of exploding the aliens
And
like
they got
Mars
every
Attacks,
celebrity in Hollywood to act in a film that nobody liked.
they get rid of the Viperox, and then everyone lives happily ever after. The end.
Yeah, and
They force a random romance that didn't even exist.
Oh, yeah.
Where it's like, hey, you should probably help her fix her diner. And then they hold hands like, oh, yeah, okay.
We're in
they
love
hold
now.
hands in the most like
Love.
stiff, like badly keyframed animation
Okay,
pose I've ever
speaking
seen.
about stiff, badly posed animation, let's talk about the animation.
Let's talk about the stiff, badly posed animation.
So the very first
We're sorry.
instant...
We know how hard it is to animate 3D. But
So, the very first instance where I knew that animation was going to be absolutely terrible was the very first shot after the prologue, where you have David Tennant coming into the diner through a door. Literally, it looks like
and you can hear like his
his
joints move.
a robotic arm move into the door, and the door just goes
This
very
swings
quickly.
open.
He just
There's no ease in or
he
ease
just
out or
hits it
anything.
at Mark 5 with his fingertips, and the door swings open.
Yeah, there's no ease in or ease out, and there's
It's
no.
like a video game. It's like when you
Yeah.
like touch the door and it just swings open.
Except
does
for
look
it's
like a
worse
video
than a
game.
video game.
Everyone looks like they were modeled by the people who made Hitman Blood Money.
Actually, to me, the style of it kind of reminds me of the Clone Wars a bit, where like
No,
everything
no
is
one
kind
has
of.
a wooden block beard.
But everyone's very blocky though, and it's all like painted, like in the Clone Wars as
Yeah.
well.
But
Like all the
it's a
textures.
nice aesthetic.
Yeah,
I
and
just don't think it totally works.
no, the animation is just. So
You just
It look-
just
it-
buy an Xbox Connect and just mocap it.
exactly, I don't think they used any reference footage,
No, clearly not.
and like all the movement, it looks like they just did the keyframes. And if you don't know what keyframes are, like there's two different types of keyframes. There's the keyframes literally like, oh, which frame am I going to put this movement on? And the other type of keyframe, which is, oh, what is the key pose in this movement? And I need to draw that or pose it to that. It looks like they just did that and didn't do any finer details whatsoever.
And literally, it's what's in between the keyframes that makes the characterization, the acting, and the animation. The keyframes themselves do not really show the character as such.
No,
Which is why these characters look very bog standard with their movements.
Is it Chuck Jones that said that?
I don't know anything about him, so
Okay, I always mention Chuck Jones. Well, me and Stefan always mention Chuck Jones, but was it him that said it was one of the? It could be like Bob.
Yeah, it's what you
Bob
put in
McKimson.
between. That was Chuck
Yeah,
Jones.
he was like the way you animate or the way you traditionally animate is that you have to infer personality by the way a character moves, and he's like, if you don't do that, you're not animating.
But yeah, so this just when I first watched it, I was literally just messaging Stefan, where's the animation? Where did it go? What happened to the animation? Because it's just so stiff and lifeless, and literally like when the characters weren't showing their legs for walking, they would just literally just move the character up and down, up and down.
Like,
as they were
it's like South
walking.
Park when like the legs don't move. That's kind
Yeah,
of
but at least in South Park it's purposeful.
Yeah, it's
With
for a
this,
style.
it's just we're running out of time. Better quickly move it a little bit.
And South Park's animation is like deceptively very good. Like,
Yeah.
especially in the newer seasons.
Yeah, it
like,
has
it's
a
it's
understanding.
fantastic. Yeah.
Whereas this doesn't seem like it has an understanding of the principles to make the motion. It just kind of has them.
My
Like,
favorite
oh,
piece
we move
of
it here.
my favorite piece of animation of the entire special is when the guy and the girl, I forget their names, at the very end hold hands, and you can like hear the keyframe adjustment. Like when it's like, oh, she looks like she needs a hand. He's like, don't worry, she's got one, and then, like the fingers like just like crunch around
Yeah.
her hand really slowly.
Like,
It's horrifying.
I get how hard it is to animate in 3D, but if you have a whole studio working on something, and it's for a very prestigious television show that is known all across the world,
Yeah.
You
should make it good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just buy a Lycra bodysuit, stick some ping pong balls on it, and run around your studio.
or just shoot reference
And we
footage if you
real-
can't afford mocap.
We realised that this was 10 years ago, but shows like
So what's-
Stormhawk...
it's 2009?
2009.
Yeah.
Shows like Stormhawks was released at this stage. Stormhawks was like 2005, and that 3D is incredible.
Toy
So
Story
there's
is
not-
keyframe. That's from 1995.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's a movie, whereas this is a TV
But still,
special.
like that's when like the technology is still in its formative years. And they
Exactly.
can still do something. This is like, what is it? Like over 10 years of development later. Like I feel like you should, and like again, motion capture technology, like maybe if not back then, but at least now is like something that you can do yourself.
Exactly.
There's technology available for you to mocap.
You can literally do it with your phone.
Yeah,
If you can.
it's incredible. And again, you could use kind of like onion skin reference footage and keyframe over that. But it doesn't seem like they did. It seems like they just
No.
did it whatever looked not adequate, but
Oh,
whatever got the job done.
whatever
Yeah,
met
exactly.
the deadline. Maybe it's one of those things when like the producers don't understand deadlines. It was like, we need a Doctor Who Christmas special by Christmas Eve. But sir, it's the 22nd. Get on it! Here's David Tennant. Get him to say shit. Just attach David Tennant to a brick and throw him through the window.
Is that Brick also the Doctor?
No, the brick is also his companion.
something that also
Budget cuts. We can't afford more people, so we're just hiring different coloured bricks.
something I also hated about the animation was the fact that when they talked, their jaws literally just moved up and down. There were no
There's no
lip
lip syncing.
movements or anything, and it was just there was a bit of tongue movement from David Tennant, but it was just
Ooh.
it was very ugly. It was just the animation itself was just very ugly and unrefined. If you want to,
There would not be a second date.
no, I would not date the studio again or David Tennant's little tongue.
They didn't do... Usually in animation, when you put... Blinks are very powerful in that you can use blinks to convey emotion. Like, if a character
Or like
needs to-
comedic beats can be
Yeah.
a couple
Yeah,
of blinks as
like
well.
you can use blinks very versatile, and it really makes a character look like they're alive. They did not use blinks either at all or at the wrong times. Like, they'll have, like, a character doing nothing, and then they'll just have him blink randomly. Like, usually
you
blinks
know
Remember the
what?
one when like they
purposeful.
time the keyframe too slow, so it's just like
You know what though? The only blinks I noticed were the Viprox aliens when they blinked, and they had such a disgusting squishy sound.
Yeah.
but
And
even
it,
then
it was
I'm
so off-putting.
But even then, I'm not going to rule out that it's just an error in the animation and that the eyes were changing scale every couple of seconds for no reason.
I think that was just for characterization.
No, I know
they
it's on
got
purpose,
angry.
but it looked.
It
oh,
was terrible.
It's just unpleasant.
Problem that me and Ben
I
realized.
liked this special too. I'm sorry if we're shitting all over it.
The problem that me and Ben realized with when you're doing like first 3D animation is when you're doing a run cycle, and you set your keyframes and you have them like running across a plane.
The
you
legs are usually involved.
No,
That's
yeah,
what
yeah.
we're trying to get.
No, you get this slippage where it doesn't quite look like the feet are connecting to the ground,
Yeah,
and
'cause it's
usually,
that thing that a foot can't move. Once a foot's down, it can't move.
Yeah, it can't
position.
Exactly,
Yeah.
but it does in this.
yeah, it does, which means they haven't changed that axis that you have to change, and they just haven't refined it. It just looks like they've done a run cycle. It looks like it's running, and so they've just stuck it in. And even the running, they do that thing where the arms come up like, I don't
It's
know, like
the most
robots.
basic type of run cycle you can. There's no different
Everyone runs like an Olympic
characterizations.
sprinter. Everyone's got open palms.
Yeah. It's how everyone runs.
Yeah.
Okay, any more bad things you want to talk about before we get into some good
Yes,
stuff?
the thing that really annoyed me was when, I told you this before, when the chief commander guy walks into the door and it barely looks like his head even makes it through the door, and he somehow just passes through.
Oh,
Like,
is there clipping?
yeah, that is not how doors work. Doors have to, like, you have to...
Tall.
You're taller
Doors
than
are
the
ordinarily
person.
about what 8 to 7 feet high.
Yeah, especially in Area 51. I'd imagine those doors being massive. Why are they just these little things you can barely get through?
Yeah. Isn't this like a military base? Shouldn't there just be like hangar doors everywhere? Shouldn't every door frame be like 9.5 feet tall?
Yeah, and the
Or
hangar
like
base...
double barred and just like with, just have like metal guards.
In
and
terms of the
things?
design of Area 51, again, this is leading to the
Just a
fact...
base, yeah.
It's just a base. Like, you're calling it Dreamland. You're banking on the idea that this is going to be a magical adventure or something, and you've just got a bog standard hangar that looks like it could have been like
It could have been anywhere.
anything.
Again, it just looks like a Cahoots asset. Just
Yeah.
like military
Cahoots
base
asset.
one.
Except for Cahoots actually lets
Everything
you
in
do
this
good
looks like
stuff.
everything in this looks like a Cahoots asset, except for David Tennant, who would have been like a custom download.
Custom download.
He would have just been like an edit of like a lawyer Thank you, Ben. There would have just been like an edit of like a lawyer model or
They
something.
just changed the hair and
Just
added
to change the
pinstripes.
hair, yeah. Exactly.
Oh.
It looks like it could be animated on Cahoots.
I was going to say, in terms of animation writing, I don't like how because it's pre-established that you need to know this Doctor Who character. You need to know this Doctor character. But it doesn't actually tell you what this screwdriver does. Like,
yeah.
the screwdriver just does anything.
To be fair, it's not an introduction into the character.
No, but in this, it's just like,
does
oh,
whatever.
we need to do this. I'll use this to explode something later on. Oh, we need to do this. I'll use this to levitate stuff, I guess.
I'm hungry. Nom nom nom.
So basically, from what I can tell, it can open locks and stuff, and it can also detect things.
Oh, no, that's fine. But in terms of writing this as a standalone film,
Nah,
it makes
yeah.
no sense. It's just like, it's a
but again-
MacGuffin. It just does what it needs to do for
That's not what a
the
MacGuffin
thing.
is. Isn't a MacGuffin something that you...
Oh, that's the opposite. Sorry, it's a... Deus Ex Machina.
Yeah,
It
there
just
we go.
does what it needs to do to get the plot moving.
Which
It's
is
like,
very
oh,
true.
we need to fly a spaceship. This can act as a steering wheel. I don't know. It's silly. It doesn't... Like, why would you bank it all on this magic screwdriver that doesn't really... It doesn't explain what
It's
it
not
does.
a magic screwdriver, it's a sonic screwdriver.
Sonic screwdriver. It runs really fast. Got it. Okay.
Okay, so let Michael and I talk a bit about the story so we can get into a few people's good books now. So, I actually quite enjoyed the story. I thought it was like a really fun adventure. Like, oh, we're getting trapped by people in Area 51. We need to escape. Oh, now there's a crazy alien plot we have to
Yeah, it's just one of
solve.
those things when like you can't... Like, you almost don't really... Like...
It's not anything special, but it's just
No,
something
exactly, but
fun to watch.
you don't judge it as such. You judge
Yeah.
it based on what it's trying to achieve. And if it wanted to achieve a fun little inconsequential adventure for kids about aliens and with like a colourful animation style, it does that. Like, if you like Doctor Who, then yeah, it's like there's aside from the glaring issue with the animation, there's nothing like fundamentally wrong with it.
Like, I'm
The
pretty
animation is quite fundamental, but still,
Like, again, like, if this wasn't animation and it was a live action, I think it would have been a lot better received because of it. Like, I'm pretty sure... I haven't watched Doctor Who at all.
Oh,
but
yeah.
apart from the one episode where Matt Smith is in the West, is in a Western. But it seems like it would be the type of episode that they would do in live action. And, yeah, it probably would have been perfectly fine.
yeah.
Then I don't think it stands up as being one of the better episodes of a Doctor Who.
Oh no, the
series.
best episode is the one when he takes Vincent van Gogh into the museum.
No, the one everyone always not that one. The one that everyone always says is the Stone Angels one. The one where it's
the
called
Weeping
Don't
Angels.
Blink.
The Weeping Angels.
Yeah, where every time you blink, they move.
Oh, cool.
And then they eventually kill
That's
you.
like every horror villain ever.
Yeah, but it's like that. Where
survival horror games.
I think my favorite Doctor Who episodes are the ones that have that horror element and that surrealness that makes you feel like, oh, what's going to happen? Whereas this, it didn't have that because
Have you watched many Doctor Who episodes?
I've watched a few of the David Tennant series. And again,
Okay.
when I was a kid, they used to scare me, but I was really looking forward to, oh, what would it do next week? This one, it was just boring. It was just like, oh, what's this alien look like? It's just an alien. Oh, what's it going to do? Nothing.
Yeah, especially in animation when you can't obviously you have a budget, but effectively in terms of creativity, the sky's the limit with animation.
The most interesting...
whatever you dream of, you can do.
Oh, that was the thing that broke the camel's back in terms of stupidity. When it shows the civil war of the aliens and they're wearing a bandana, look like a commando. What the hell? Why do they have bandanas?
Because
like
it's
a
in the
commando?
past, Stefan.
No, but the aliens. Why do they have Earth commando bandanas?
The only thing that changed fashion-wise throughout the hundreds of years with this alien species is that they just removed a bandana.
That's it.
That's it. We have bandanas, and then we don't have bandanas. When the grandchildren of aliens look at pictures of their grandparents, they go, "Oh, grandpappy, what's that thing on your head?" It's like, "That's a bandana, son. You wouldn't know." Everyone's all about
They don't even
not
have-
wearing
And
bandanas
they're
now.
not wearing clothes either. So what was the bandana for?
To keep sweat out of your eyes.
But why
have
not
eyebrow-
have any other clothes?
They don't have eyebrows. Like Rambo. Why does he need the bandana? Because he looks cool. I don't know.
But they don't have armor. They don't have any protective thing.
There's in Rambo. He just wore like a jock. He just wore like jocks throughout the movie.
No, but
didn't
this alien species does not wear any clothes at all, but they feel that for this civil war, they need to wear one bandana.
he? Maybe it's to show that they're rebels.
Yeah, exactly, but why do they need to show that?
Yeah, you wouldn't want them to know you're rebels, would you?
Exactly.
There's not much we can say about it from
No,
now.
there really isn't,
No.
is there?
No, it's not.
Again, I think the style
It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine, Stefan.
The style is good. I like the style by itself if you didn't have any of the animation, because
If it was a slideshow presentation, I would have enjoyed it much more.
if you showed me just like some stills and stuff, which obviously you did, like the style does
That's basically what it was.
it. Like when I first saw it, it was a bit confronting, but like as I kept watching, I was like, oh yeah, it does look all right.
Yeah, because it is a fun story, and ultimately it is a story, and it does convey it quite concisely.
Thanks, Stefan. Ultimately, it is a story. Final thoughts.
I wouldn't watch it again. I would not recommend it to anyone, but it's fine.
Wow. I wouldn't watch it again. I'd give a soft recommendation if you already like Doctor Who. And it's fine.
Stefan,
It's fine.
I thought you hated it.
No, like as you said, it's a brisk watch. It felt longer at parts because the animation was a bit stagnant, but like if you like Doctor Who and the Doctor, then it plays out fine. It just feels like it could have extended itself a lot more with the fact that this was an animated series as opposed to just a normal episode of the Doctor. I'm getting confused with Doctor and Doctor Who. I'll just call him Doctor Who for now.
Let's call him Steve, I don't know.
Steve from
the
accounting.
accountant.
Is that it?
Okay.
Also, do you think it was wise to take our only recommendation and then just berate it so we alienate our one
That's
fan?
what I was really
So
worried
Tom,
about.
Tom, we are so sorry.
Yeah,
I
this
know
is-
we.
I enjoyed it. So don't
was-
get mad at me. Or hate mail directed Stefan.
It was a fun watch for Michael and I.
Yeah, no disrespect to Doctor Who or anything of the likes.
Recommend more things.
Yeah, we actually. It's good that we got out of a comfort zone to watch something else that we wouldn't pick.
Yeah, that we wouldn't have watched if we didn't have our free Stand trial.
Yeah.
Stand, if those of you listening internationally, which is 2 of you from the Wooshka
Anyway.
sites, yeah, Stand is a streaming service. That's
It's like Australia's personal Netflix.
Australia's shitty Netflix.
Yeah.
Actually, Netflix is shitty Netflix in
They're
Australia.
both shitty Netflix.
They're okay. I mean, I'm never going to watch half of what's on there, so.
So that is all for Doctor Who Dreamland, and that is all for our podcast. If you'd like to contact us and recommend more stuff for us to shit on, we are at animate3pod@gmail.com.
Rachel, recommend something.
Yeah, Rachel, if you're listening, recommend something because that would be great. Yeah, we're also on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram. I actually uploaded a video to Instagram last Friday. Turns out it didn't have any sounds on it. I don't know why.
That's a shame for a podcast. That's kind of our thing.
I thought it was.
My brother went, "Hey Ben, look at the video. There's no sound." And
This
I
is why
did.
you're
I was
only
like,
getting 2 subscribers.
Yeah. So I need to upload that again
We
today.
do this for fun, not for the money.
Yeah, we're also
Obviously not for the money. There's none of that.
yeah, we're also on most podcast hosting sites except for Google Podcasts.
Obligatory. Shut up, Google.
Yeah.
Obligatory shut up, Google.
Despite me loving a lot of your stuff like Google Drive, I hate your podcast site.
Yeah.
I'm pointing my rude finger at Google.
Let us. Yeah, maybe with your help we could have achieved 6 subscribers, but now we're gonna be happy with 4 or whatever we have.
Yeah, and next week we are going to be talking about The Breadwinner, the 2017 animated film based on the book called The Breadwinner or Pavana.
Very
depending on what
different
edition.
tone to
Yes.
today.
So, yeah, hope you come back next week. Don't forget to like and subscribe and even show some friends maybe if you don't mind showing them the stupid stuff you listen to. And yeah, that is all.
That's a real big risk.
Yeah.
I hate to be that guy that's like, hey, listen to this thing I like, and then you hold the phone up for 25 minutes while they listen. You gotta send people stuff. You can't make them watch it in front of you.
Yeah. Anyway, that is all. Goodbye. Da-da-da-da-da.